Hey, Arnaki.
Hello.
How are you?
Oh, I'm good.
That's good. That's good. You're here to do a 3-ingredient recipe.
I am for the Greek Easter.
That's right. Greek Easter is coming up. That's coming up this Sunday, huh?
Oh, it is. Although I don't know why I should be doing something for Greek Easter. I mean, I'm usually the Easter dinner.
Oh, well, we don't like to talk about that on. No. But you know what else they serve at Greek Easter?
Eggs.
Eggs. And what color do we have for Greek Easter?
Red.
Red. It is
No blue. No green. No orange. Just red.
Just red. Yep. It is traditional in the Greek tradition to have red eggs for Easter. Sometimes it's baked into bread, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then
Easter bread.
Yep. And as Peter has taught me, and Peter's family taught me, because Peter is Greek. You know Peter.
I've seen them around somewhere.
Yeah, he's never here, but he's. Yeah. But yeah, Peter's family taught me a game where you take 2 red eggs and you smash them against each other, and then the person whose egg doesn't crack, they win the game, and then they get good luck.
They get good luck for the year.
They get good luck for the year.
And the rest of them just eat the eggs.
That's right.
They deal with it.
Yep. So we are going.
They complain a little, but they. Oh, you want me to stop?
Yeah, well, you know, like any holiday, you might have a little bit of complaining, a little bit of upset, but not around Easter. We're going to make some wonderful red dyed Easter eggs, and we are actually going to make the dye from 3 ingredients. How about that?
3 ingredients?
3 ingredient.
What is one of the eggs?
No, actually the dyes are 3 ingredients and then the eggs come separately. But these are all natural egg dyes. And so in case you're worried about any sort of artificial colorings, this is 100% natural.
Very good.
You want to see what the 3 ingredients are?
Okay.
All right. The first ingredient is?
A bottle of water.
Water. Just water.
Just water.
Yep. So we're going to use enough water to cover
If you had just water, it would fall all over the place, so you need a bottle.
That's right. You always need a container for water, unless it's ice. But then
the ingredient would be ice, not water.
You are...
But you could have ice water, right? I don't know.
Okay,
Go ahead.
Okay, so we're going to use just enough water to cover the other ingredients, and you'll see what that means when we go over how to make this. Our next ingredient is?
Vinegar.
Vinegar. You're going to want to use distilled white vinegar. You can use other vinegars, but because this doesn't have any color to it, it's not going to interfere with the color of the dye any.
Yes, we want to make sure that it is red, not any other color.
That's right. We want to make sure that we get a nice deep red. Now, this again is going to be dependent on how many eggs you make, but usually it's about 1 to 2 tablespoons per every couple of cups of water.
Very good.
Very good.
Very good.
And then do you know what these are?
Garbage.
Yeah, normally this would be garbage, but these are actually the skins of yellow onions.
Ugh, they don't make me cry though.
Nope, we've already...
The skins.
Yeah, no, the skins...
Onions,
no, the onions make you cry, but the skins...
But the skins then okay.
Right.
But they make me cry because there's no onions to have.
Okay, we are
It
going...
makes sense to me, I don't think...
you know, it's as long as it makes sense to you. So we are going to use the skins probably of about a dozen medium-sized yellow onions, but you can...
Just think of all those dozens of onions shivering in the cold.
If you are preparing for Easter next year, just save the onion skins as you use onions. Or we're going to, as we do in this household, we skinned all of the onions and then we're going to just puree them and then use the onion puree for recipes throughout the year.
Yes.
Yep.
Like tomato sauce and all that
Like
stuff.
tomato sauce, yep. We just...
Put it in another matter. It's a whole other episode.
Exactly. So we are going to use just enough of the onion skins to fill a pan. So, and then also to cover all the eggs, and then cover that with the water. And you'll see how we make these red Greek Easter eggs. All right, so I gotta get a pan and... Oh!
Hello.
Hi, Presto, how are you?
Hi. You forgot one little thing.
What?
Well, this year, Greek Easter and non-Greek Easter,
Uh-huh.
they're the same day.
Oh no! Oh no!
Well, you got a recipe for the Greek Easter, but what about all the other kids who aren't Greek?
Oh, well...
What kind of eggs are they gonna get?
It's okay. It's okay. It's all right. It's all right.
Oh, so much pressure. I have to deliver all these eggs.
I know, but
And
you should really,
not just the Greek kids, but all the others.
I know, you got to take your nerve medication. We've talked about this, right?
Okay.
Okay. So, as you may not know, Greek Easter and non-Greek Easter are not always on the same day.
But this year they are.
Yep.
So it's caused a lot of stress.
This is one of the rare years where they fall on the same day, but easily enough, the dyes for other colors of Easter eggs, like blue and green and yellow and all of that, we can use the first two ingredients, the water and the vinegar, and then we just have to add some other ingredients for the other colors of dye.
What, other color onions or something?
No, I can show you. Why don't you pick two colors and we will make dyes out of those.
All right, the blue.
Blue. So for blue, we would use a purple cabbage.
And you pick a color.
How about yellow?
Okay, yellow.
You know what's good for yellow?
What?
Something that you like.
Oh, what? Oh, carrots!
Carrots!
But carrots are orange.
Carrots are orange, but beta-carotene, which is in the carrots, is yellow.
Ooh.
Yep, and so we're going to use carrots. We'll use... Where you have to use it for the dyes.
Oh.
Okay, you can have one.
Okay.
Why don't we see how we make both Easter and Greek Easter eggs? I have two of my pots ready to go. I have my purple cabbage in one and I have my onion skins in the other. Now because you need so many onion skins to make this dye, you really want to fill the pot up as much as you can. I'm using a small pot for this one so that it's really concentrated, so that I need a little bit less water. And for the cabbage, because most cabbages are pretty inexpensive and pretty large, I have it in a larger pot. I'm only making 2 pots at a time because I only have 2 stainless steel pots of the right size, and I don't want to use any other type of pot because it could stain or it could affect the coating of, say, a non-stick pot. Now to each of these, I'm just going to add just enough water to cover the ingredient. And now to this, I am just going to add a couple of each color egg and make sure that they are covered by all the ingredients. So I have a little bit larger pot with the purple cabbage, so I think I'll try making 4 eggs here, 2 brown and 2 white. Make sure that you're using fresh eggs. If you use eggs that are not quite as fresh, they will float to the top and then they will not get covered in dye as easily. So make sure you've got brand new eggs for this one. And then for the red, which is these yellow onion skins, I'm going to just do 1 brown and maybe 1 or 2 white. So what we're going to do is bring this up to the boil, let this simmer for 20 minutes and then turn off the heat and let them cool completely before we go on to the next step. You'll just let the eggs and the ingredient, the dyeing ingredient, sit in the pot while it comes to a complete cool. And then we'll go on to the next step. Okay, so both of my pots have been cooking for 20 minutes after they came to the boil. I did move my onion skins to a larger pot. I found a larger pot that wouldn't stain, so I was happy about that because it was starting to boil over. Now, one thing that I did forget to mention is that while this is cooling down, you're going to want to add a couple of tablespoons of distilled white vinegar into each pot. And what this is going to do is help the dye set into the eggs. Now what you can see is each one of these has turned a particular color. This is a beautiful purple color, which will probably turn into more of a blue onto the white eggs, and I'm not really sure what it'll do to the brown eggs, but it'll be fun to see. And then the onion skins, they have this really orangey look, which I'm thinking will probably turn to more of a sepia tone, more of that sort of reddish brownish color. For the Easter eggs, I've seen a number of Greek Easter eggs that have more of a between red and brown color for the Easter eggs, and then the brown eggs I would imagine might turn closer to red, but overnight the color may deepen quite a bit. We'll just have to wait and see. So I'm just going to allow both of these to cool down, and then we will strain them and I will show you what we do next. Okay, these have cooled down completely and I have shifted to the center of my stove. I am doing the rest of this process on my stovetop because my stovetop is easily cleaned. I have laminate countertops at home, and when working with any kind of dye, if you spill it onto a laminate countertop or something that could get stained, it may stay that way for a long time, and I've already stained my laminate countertop with other projects, so I'm trying to be smart about this. So now I'm just going to fish out the eggs from the liquid. Now right now they're not going to have much pigment to them. As you see, there's just a little bit of a violet tinge to it. I'm just going to add 2 each to a small mason jar, and in doing that, what I'm doing is also not putting these into, say, a plastic container, which could also take on the dye. Now this hasn't cooled down to the point where I'd want to stick my hands in, plus I don't want to dye my hands with this natural dye either. And now you can either strain the liquid or just take it by the ladleful. If you're going to pour this into a large container to cool down and continue the dyeing process, you could just strain it. But seeing as how this isn't something that needs to be sipped or anything, and I'm getting this, I am spilling this all over my stove, which I knew I would do because I am very uncoordinated. Make sure that you cover your eggs completely with your dye. Now that I have my jars filled with my eggs and my liquid, I'm just going to put them in the fridge and I'm going to leave them overnight. I'm going to try to get the most saturated color I can. You can take them out at any time. All you're doing is dyeing. The eggs are already cooked all the way through. So if you are happy with the color after just a little bit of time, you can take them out. If you want to experiment with taking them out at different times, you can do that as well. I'm going to repeat this process with a few other ingredients just to see what kind of colors we can get, and then tomorrow we will see what all of this looks like. Alright, so these have been in my fridge overnight, and overnight might be overkill for some of this. You can just have them for a number of hours, but I wanted to see how deep a color we could get, especially for the red ones. Anytime I have seen red Easter eggs for Greek Easter, I've always seen them as this deep maroon color, and I wanted to try to get that. And the purple color I was hoping would turn into a nice blue. I've also done did some carrots, and I was hoping to get a yellow color out of that. So what I did was I pureed some carrots and then I boiled that with water, and then I added the vinegar to that. So I'm going to open these in the sink, and I have my paper towels out on my stove because, once again, my countertops are laminate and I really don't want to stain them with whatever the dyes have done. But I will put the eggs out all here and we can see what the colors are. I have to say so far that the maroon color on these red eggs using the onion skins is a much deeper color than I expected. This one is even deeper than expected. This one is the brown egg. These are the 2 white eggs. As you can see, the color on the brown egg is really, really deep. I really, really love that one. And with the blue eggs, the same sort of thing. The white eggs over here, they have turned this sort of robin's egg blue, maybe a little bit deeper. This little spot here is where the egg was touching the top of my container, so I probably should have turned this over or something. Then we have this deep olive green, and then not quite as deep of a green, but it's still quite a nice attractive color right here. And then the carrot came out much more orange than I expected. I expected it would just turn yellow, but it's much more speckled. You can see all the little bits of, let me see if I can hold that up. You can see the little bits of shredded carrot. I really, really processed the carrots a lot because I had heard that carrots don't stain that well, but this is nice. This is a very nice color, actually. So what I'm going to do is just let these dry. The dye on these is very delicate. When I was pulling this beautiful red egg out, I kind of scratched it against the end of the jar here. You see the dye just pulled right off. And I think that as soon as these dry, that won't be a problem. After that, we're just going to present them and see how our little Easter basket looks. So what do you think, guys?
Oh, it's wonderful.
Yeah? How about you,
All the
Presto?
colors.
You like the colors,
All the
Presto?
colors are wonderful.
Yeah, and Presto, what do you think?
Well, the kids will be great when I deliver them.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But Easter's coming up really quick, so I really need them.
Well, I am going to separate these so that you can take all the colors except the red,
The red goes to the Greeks.
and the red goes to the Greeks so that our Naki can take them.
What, I can't deliver to the Greek people too?
Well, you know, Greek Easter and Easter don't usually match up on the same day, but
But this year it is.
this year they do. So if you want some really vibrant, beautiful Easter eggs, these are wonderful. This is wonderful. Whether you celebrate Easter or Greek Easter, I'd like to say Happy Easter and Christos Anesti, which
Christos
is
Anesti.
yep, which is Greek for
Christ is risen.
yep, or that's how we say Happy Easter in Greek. So Happy Easter to all of you, and we'll see you again next time on 3 Ingredient Recipes.
Bye-bye!
Tata.
Can I have the basket?
Well, I will give the red eggs to, and I've totally forgotten his name. What's his name?
Aranaki.
Aranaki. Okay, sorry about that. One more time.